welcome back to Trash Talkin.
I'm Reg.
I'm E, and we are finally at that point in the season where all sports are kind of in full form right now. Baseball, because of Juan Soto, is coming back. Basketball, we're 22 games into the season. Football's at its peak. Hockey, we'll talk about some point in the next couple years maybe. But we talk about the Sabres.
Not after this week. Not after last night's game.
We'll
No
talk
talk
about what looked like it was going to be a underwhelming week. Ended up being an overwhelming week at some points. Browns-Broncos didn't look like it was going to be good. That was good. Panthers game didn't look good. It was good. Even Chargers-Falcons, which was kind of like a bloop. That was
And
good.
despite your guys thought the Bills game was so much fun to
It was
watch.
fun to watch if you were a Bills fan, but if you went out solely to watch that game like I did, it was like, we could have went home at halftime. It was a Josh Allen play was cool. That's the only thing I'll
Fantastic.
There was a big hit this week, though, and I know you had some feelings on it because it was very dirty.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate my partner on his new CD, Last Train Home.
Hey!
Listen, if anybody hasn't listened to it or go get the CD or listen to it on Spotify, it's very good.
Thank
I'm
you.
proud of you.
Appreciate
Very
it.
proud of
Thank
you. But that hit was terrible.
Yeah.
And I was just telling you, the GOAT, Tom Brady, the biggest baby ever in sports for football. They made a rule about Tom Brady. There was a rule because when he hurt his leg and broke his leg or his ankle, no more low hits to the quarterback. That's the Tom Brady rule.
Yeah.
He is actually defending Jazeer, and he's telling people that, defenses are, they play tough and they got to play with a. Listen, if that was a hit on him, the guy would be kicked out of
the league.
If that was a hit on Mahomes, the guy would be suspended for the year.
I'm surprised because Trevor's also a golden boy. I know he hasn't played good. I'm surprised.
Guys don't get the calls like that.
Yeah.
Like they do. And I saw it live. I'm glad I actually saw it live. And you could see the guy going for him. And, and again, Jacksonville players, good for them. I don't know how refs throw flags on Jacksonville when they're defending a dirty hit and sticking up for them.
Exactly.
There should be no flags.
That's what the coach was saying after.
There should be no
I love that
flags
coach.
considered. That was a dirty hit. The guy's
No.
a dirty player.
Like what he had to say.
It was a clear slide. I know it's hard when they're sliding sometimes, but he was going for him.
No, yeah.
And he saw the slide, and he did it all the more.
He slid very early.
Yeah.
He gave
Yes, he
himself
did.
up very
Down
early. It
for
wasn't
him.
like,
Mhm.
and I'm not sure like it was like ill intent. Like I don't think both coaches said after I'm not sure he was trying to hurt him, but he definitely wasn't trying to hold up.
When you're hitting like that, you're trying to hurt a guy in the head. There's no doubt. And for Tom Brady to defend a defensive player,
great.
I know he can't get hurt in the booth, so he can say what he wants now. But if he was still playing, he would have called it the dirtiest hit,
And that isn't.
and he'd be scared if he was the quarterback at that happened.
Yeah, you can't do that. I usually like Alshire because I think he's a good player.
Oh, he's a good player, there's no doubt. But that was
Especially how he acted after, like he wanted to fight after. You could tell it was just like that part of the game really pisses me off when guys like
Lawrence
that.
just came back. I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
He fenced too. He did the whole fencing thing. There were people doctors on Twitter who were like, "That's a Tua hit." Like the way he reacted, he did that whole fencing position.
That
So
was great. There's no need in the game for that to do that. Again, 3 games, is that enough? I would have probably gave him the rest of the year.
give him everything up.
And again, if a player can't play, that player shouldn't play.
Yeah.
If you knock a guy out like that,
Yeah,
you don't come back till he comes back.
Yeah, I like how the Dregs players defended him though, because that's always been a big pet peeve of mine. Like a couple years ago, Andy Dalton got concussed on our team, and no one went after him. Ryan Miller got crushed on our team, the Sabres, in 20.
Nobody
something like
did.
that. No one touched. So I've always liked I don't care if you get a penalty or a flag,
There should be no
crush.
penalty.
That's what I used to like Lyle Collins for on the
Yeah,
Cowboys.
he
He used to go. He was horrible.
If somebody
at it.
did something excessive,
But he used to
that's
do that.
different. But you should be able to fight
Oh no,
back.
you should be able to fight
You
back.
should be able to throw punches.
I remember
Yeah.
a couple years ago, Dak got hit last game of the year, and it was the year after we did nothing for Andy Dalton. And the first thing, it wasn't even like a dirty hit. 3 guys came in, power slam the guy. So I'm all for that. Other than that, it was a good week.
There was some good guys.
Your Broncos look good.
Again, thank you, Jameis. But
Jameis
we
Winston.
made him look very good.
That was peak Jameis Winston, though. 3 interceptions, 4 touchdowns, and 430 yards.
But again, shame on the Browns.
He should have been.
He should have been starting about week 4 or 5.
Shame on Jimmy Haslam, because I think Kevin Stefanski wanted him.
He wanted him in there, but they spent all that money on Deshaun, and they didn't want to sit him. They got to eat the contract just like Denver.
No, they're going to. There's no way you can.
And I'm happy for Jerry Jeudy, even though he did it to us.
Wow.
We didn't
He
use him
looked
properly.
good.
He was hurt. We didn't use him properly.
He looked
He's a
good.
great receiver.
Oh,
You put him in a good system, he's a Pro Bowler every year.
People forget what he was looked like going into that draft. He was my favorite receiver in that draft. That draft had Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb in it, and I thought Judy was
He's
the
got
best
great
one.
footwork. He does great routes.
He's pulling a little bit of Jack Eichel with the fans, though.
Well, I don't know.
Did you see Jack Eichel and Judy though? Is Jack Eichel was given everything in Buffalo,
Yes,
and
true.
Judy wasn't given the opportunity to shine. In my
Very
opinion.
true.
Hurt.
Just think, Russell Wilson couldn't help.
That's the thing.
Huh? There you go. Right?
Jameis did.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston. He might be my favorite quarterback ever. Watching Jameis Winston is the most fun experience I've ever had.
You know what? The guy plays the game like it should be played.
And he just
And he
enjoys.
tries so hard that he's going to throw.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just doesn't think. I mean, one year he had 30 touchdowns, 30
Yeah.
interceptions. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you get what it is, but you know,
He's
the
fun.
guy tries.
He's so much fun to
He's
watch.
He was.
He's
Listen
a
to
very good player.
that
He
last
makes
week when he was in the snow and he
Yeah.
comes out and he goes, you know what? I just got to thank God that I'm able to play snow and football.
Oh, yeah,
He's the best. He's my
He
favorite.
beat Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
They're good. They're not a bad
They're
team.
a
at all.
good team.
So,
Did you hear what he said about God at the end? In his press conference, he said, I know God is going to, how do you make it go?
he said,
Make
I need the
sure.
Lord to take away some of the interceptions.
Yeah, that's it.
The
That's
Lord come of the
it.
Lord,
I couldn't
you know
get it. Yeah.
The Lord has blessed me to
The
play
Lord has
football
blessed
in the
me
snow today.
to not make these
He
mistakes
is
next
so
week.
funny. He's my favorite player to watch. I want him
He's
in the
so
league next
positive.
year. He has to stay in the league.
I
They
love him.
thought about flexing that game, and that was probably the
That
best
was-
Monday night game
Yeah,
that they've had
fantastic.
all
That was
year.
a good game.
Sometimes you got to be careful with your
A little too
flexing.
nerve-wracking.
We got a good Monday Night Football game coming up. Bengals Cowboys. With me, my buddy's a Bengals fan. He said they're going to win 38-34. I'm like, you think we're getting 34 points? That's a lot.
They scored
Right?
It's
99 points in 3 games, and you lost all 3.
They showed all the points in their last 5 games, and they lost them all.
I believe the last person to throw for 330 yards and as many losses he was Tony Romo, and I think it was like 2012.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Well, so that's sad.
It's unbelievable. I feel so sorry for him.
He's
Him and Jamar Chase. I mean, they're doing it without Joe Mixon.
Yeah,
They're still scoring tons of points.
and they're going to lose T. Higgins next year. They're going to lose weapons next year. Like
Yeah, and their defense ain't getting better. So.
it's because they got a Paisan coach in them defense.
That's
That's
right.
Yeah, he's like somewhere. Their game's past.
It's way past. But let's start with the GOAT, the real GOAT. You're talking about the football GOAT. I'm talking about the GOAT of all GOATs. Let's talk about LeBron James. He started off really hot this year, and I think it's 0 for 24 in his last 24 three-pointers, which is crazy because he started off hot. But
He's never been a great three-point
no,
shooter.
that's my thing.
He's picked it up lately.
Yeah.
To me, I don't want to see him go out like this. There's no need for him to play anymore. He only wanted to play with his kid. They're not going to win a championship. He's not going to get an MVP. There's really nothing left for him to prove. He's proven everything.
He's
At his
won.
age, it's inevitable that something's going to go on. We watched it with Peyton Manning, with Aaron Rodgers this year. Eventually, Father Time does catch up with him. I mean, he's got 22 points, 8 rebounds, 9
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's father time. I think he's just.
But he's on a bad
great.
team. He's on a bad team. They're 9th right now in the West, and I don't see them catching any of
They
the
don't need to make a
6 or 7.
trade.
They're thin. They don't have much bench. Eventually, Anthony Davis had a great year. He's going to get hurt. He's going to miss 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
He's going to turn his ankle like he always does. I just feel bad that LeBron, the only reason I think he came back, again, was to play with his kid. And this is another situation. What did he get by going to the Olympics? Nothing. They were going to win. Big deal. They got.
I do think for some reason people do value the medal.
Who cares about the country that much?
I don't value the medal at all. I think LeBron being the captain.
Is that good that they beat China in
Yeah.
basketball or
No,
some
no.
other countries?
No competition. I just think that picture of LeBron with the flag as the captain, I think that one's going to be remembered. I think for him,
I think it means a lot to enough.
For some reason, it does
only
mean a
had
lot to
2
him.
months off in the last 14
Oh, I agree.
months, so
Which makes it
you put
even
your
greater.
body through that. No, all these guys, you see these guys in the Olympics, they're not having great years.
Yeah.
They're all tired already. We're only starting December. What are they going to do? They've only played 25% of the games.
Yeah.
So to me, he would be the one guy I would say he deserves to
Rest.
sit back to back. There's no way he should play 82 games. He's playing 35 minutes a game.
DJ Redick just said that last night. He
He's
said
playing
he's
35
a
minutes a game.
Yeah.
Listen, he's one guy that earned resting.
Yes.
You know, I'm back to back, or if they got 4 games in a week, sit him. That wouldn't bother me one bit that he does that because he can't do it.
Yeah. No. It's not father time. It is just like he doesn't understand that he's older now because he said it many times that he wants to play every game. And he keeps wanting to play 35 minutes a game, and he's what, like 39 now? Like, he's got to chill out. I was watching Starting Five the other day, that NBA documentary where they followed all the players last year, and they show LeBron in the locker room. LeBron is still at his age a beast.
He's in great shape.
He doesn't feel like he's getting older because he doesn't look like it, but he has to know that he is. And again, he's never been a three-point shooter. I don't really care about the three-point slump at all because he's still his like career average from the three is like 35. He's shooting 34% from the three, even with that slump. So I'm not worried. 22, 8, and 9 is really impressive for me.
Oh, for his age.
All he had to do was walk on the court and score 15 points to be the highest scoring player at his age this year. That's all he had to do in the first game was score about 15 points, and he's already scored more than any 39-year-old in year 22. So he doesn't have anything to prove, but I do think, especially in a social media age, these players hear everything, and he hears the ring debate, and he hears about...
But he's never going to get another one.
Yeah, but I think he, in his head, though, like us saying, like, he's not going to get one, he's thinking, like, he knows he... You hear LeBron talk, even in the documentary, he refers to himself as the greatest player of all time. Which a lot of people don't like. But he talks in the room like, well, if you want to be the greatest player of all time, like, I did this to be the greatest player. He refers to himself to he thinks he is.
This could hurt him at the end.
That's the thing. But in his head, he thinks, and he's done it, I'm the greatest player of all time, I can go get another ring. Like, he's done all this stuff. I don't think he can, now at the Lakers.
Michael Jordan couldn't do it after,
No.
You know what I mean?
But I do think LeBron and Jordan at this stage of their career, though, are two different. Like, Jordan could not. LeBron goes out there, he still looks really good. He'll never get a ring with the Lakers. It always felt like the wrong move to go to LA from the beginning. It felt like the wrong move. It felt like the move he wanted for legacy, but there was nothing.
And they're finished once he's done. They're finished for years. They have nothing.
They're screwed. I feel bad for AD.
And Anthony Davis is, exactly.
So I don't think it's father time. I just think like it's not father time the way it's father time Rodgers. Where you watch Aaron Rodgers and you go like, this guy's completely lost.
Exactly. You hate seeing guys.
LeBron, I do still enjoy putting him on. Like, he had a bad game the other night where he only had 10 points, but his streak continues, that 10-point streak, which is nice. But
he's still better than 90% of the players in the league. That's the difference between football and
That was the same with Brady.
Football players aren't
still
better than 90%.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where in the NBA, there's a lot of bad players.
Sidney Crosby.
You're going to be. He's always going to be better than that.
But
Sidney
LeBron
Crosby.
looks, to me, like, I know AD's the best player on the team. LeBron, to me, is still the most valuable player on the team.
Oh, by
Just
far.
the way he gets everyone
By
involved.
far.
But that team is, I was surprised it started off as good as they did, because that team is not that good. And I love JJ Redick. I still love the
That's not his fault.
No.
They don't have the players.
No, the team, D'Lo's got to go.
Yeah.
I don't like D'Lo. I love Austin Reeves.
Look at their bench. There's nothing. There's nothing on their bench. Hachimura is always just a regular.
I'm always hoping for
player.
Hachimura to be good. But
Talkin, that's going to be really good, but
I
he's
love
just
him,
a shooter. But
yeah.
he's a great shooter, and that's what the league. That's what they needed.
Yeah.
But talent-wise, they're way below most of the teams in the West.
And the problem is, like, because he is someone who really cares about legacy and, like, completing circles, he can't leave LA. Like, this is where
No, he can't go
Oh,
anywhere
no,
else.
no,
He can't go
no.
anywhere.
That would look
like,
horrible.
then you turn into KD.
Yeah.
And I really did not like him going to LA anyways. I'm a LeBron guy, so I was like, whatever, I'll root for the Lakers.
What would happen if he went back to Cleveland with the teams they
That's
have?
the
They
thing.
got a great team.
That's the only thing you
He
could
could
do.
have
is
went.
go back to
No,
Cleveland.
I mean even before he could have went there.
I thought that's what he was going to do
Mitchell.
a
They
year or
got
two
Garland,
ago. But I do think, if anything, because all the reports were that LeBron loves completing circles, he would love to finish in Cleveland, but I don't know. I don't think you can go anywhere. I think I would have loved for him to stay in Cleveland.
As a fan, I would not like him back. I mean, come on.
No.
That would be him returning
They want him back
After
at his
a
age.
while.
That would be him returning to Cleveland twice, too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him back at his
Hey,
age.
come on.
That's an insult to the organization.
And just at this point in your career, you're 39. If you're going to stop playing for the Lakers, you stop playing.
Just
for Jordan.
play.
Go out
And that will suck for me. Like, I'll cry that day.
play a couple
But-
of games with your son.
Yeah,
Have him rhythm
you
up with
did
him.
your thing. You did it.
You did it.
You played with Bronny. That's what you wanted. Don't try and play
Now,
with Bryce. That's too.
Question to you basketball guys. After LeBron, is there another star that's going to be like
Luka or Wemby for me.
Nobody will ever play that many years.
No.
Luka can't play that many years. He's hurt all the time. Nobody will ever be like him.
I mean, you had Jordan and you had LeBron. Now, like, is there a
To me, it's like Wemby. or
somebody
Luka.
in waiting?
Yeah, maybe.
Scotty Barnes?
No.
No.
Nobody will ever play like Jordan, and
Yeah, it just won't happen. And
LeBron.
even like,
nobody's gonna play 15 years, stay healthy.
I also don't think you'll
and be
ever
like
have like
that. The league has changed.
just the way we look at LeBron and Jordan, like there's like gold around them. I don't think you'll ever look at a player with that much like regard.
That's what I was
The game
wondering.
has changed. Everybody shoots threes.
It's
Nobody
different.
cares. They take time off.
That's what I was like watching
It's a different
LeBron
generation.
from
It really is.
13 to 19
Yeah,
was
it's a different
It
generation.
is.
And even like, and I look at
Don't play
LeBron,
the same.
like LeBron, all these years in, looks like the same player. I don't see that. Like Luka is already out of shape. I don't see the work ethic. LeBron, whether people like him or not, LeBron for 20 years has had
That's
the
why
greatest
he's the-
work ethic I've ever seen.
But that's why you end up the greatest. That's why Sidney Crosby is. That's why
Seasons
these guys
too
are all that
long.
good.
Seasons are too long for these guys now. Nobody can play 84 games.
Yeah.
They get hurt way too much. You're not going to see those kind of players again.
And the way the game's turned, it's become so boring for me as much as I love basketball. But Jordan and LeBron have moments, and I think there's a less value on specific moments. Like LeBron block, the Jordan shot against Cleveland, against Utah.
Steph Curry changed it to
He
a
did.
three-point shooting
And
contest.
Steph doesn't have any
He
moments.
no, but he changed.
Yeah.
He
Yes, he
changed
did.
the game. It was him that changed the game to a three-point shooting contest. Everybody followed him.
Yeah.
And that's what it's turned into.
And when Steph retires, the difference between what he made it is you're not going to look back and look at a Steph moment and be like, oh, remember when this happened? You just look how great he was. But
There's people now
The
that all you
documentaries
can do
before.
is one thing.
That's
Either
the thing.
shoot or you play defense.
that's
You
what I
can't
love about
shoot.
that's what I
There's
love
only
about
one thing.
LeBron.
You don't.
It's so much
Jordan
fun.
played defense
Jordan, yeah.
too.
I get to watch.
Listen,
Karl
when this old,
Malone was the same.
Yeah.
when I actually followed basketball in the old days, there was a lot of work underneath the rim. The guys were, they were going for 2-point shots. They were scoring from in the paint. Now that's all they do. They get in the paint, and they pass it out.
The only time they're in the.
I get tired of watching basketball.
Seriously, the person who has the chance to be like the next basketball person, like that we look at, is Caitlin Clark. It's not in the NBA.
Right.
It's Caitlin Clark.
Exactly.
I think so too. That's a good point.
Because
But what does she do?
she shoots a lot of threes.
No, she's a great passer.
Yeah.
Well, what a passer she is. That's right.
That's
Look
the
at
thing
her.
that
She's
we're gonna look
Gretzky
at.
with that ball.
And it just, I don't know. The thing that's lost with me in the NBA is there's no prestige to it. Whereas like,
You'll never see Magic Johnson
No.
passes again. Everybody now when it's a pass, you're just dumping it outside to the three.
Right.
There's no fast break and 3-on-2s. There's
I know,
never a 3-on-2
slimy
where they're doing a layup.
Right. Like all those things. I remember that little time I coached and we were working on those things. You never see anybody do any of that stuff.
Do nothing.
I'll tell you,
Nothing like
that 2019 Raptors team was the epitome of that.
Yeah,
Defense,
they
get to the rim. Sure, they shot a little bit of threes, but you had Kawhi,
Yeah, but you have to.
Siakam, those boys that were really gritty. That kind of basketball is dead. Please don't retire LeBron, even though I can't wait
The
for
NBA to me is like watching an all-star game when they're doing like just.
Not the Raptors, though. You
Three-
really suck.
No, they're fun to watch, but it's like 3-point shots all the time, like Phil said. And it's like that's all you see.
That's what doesn't get good to the playoffs now.
Yeah,
It's
a long season.
It really is.
And these are in the summer they would call baseball the dog days or winter
Yes.
for these guys.
Yeah.
Same thing. For them.
Same thing for them. It's too long a season.
Well, LeBron, if Father Time is coming, that's all right. I cannot wait for the LeBron documentary. I'm going to sit down, watch that popcorn, the last dance for LeBron. I'll be like all the old people who watched the Michael Jordan last dance. I'll be there with my jerseys on. All right, what's our next? We got
We got the Bills.
the Bills. Oh, what a game. I argued with someone last night. My friend went to the game. Alessandra went to the game.
Oh, she must have had a blast.
And she said, that was one of the best games of the year. I said, for Bills fans, we all wanted to go home and have. But
No, you know what? For a football fan that wants something different,
yeah,
it was fun to watch something.
Josh Allen play was great.
But even the snow, when they scored, they threw the snow. It was just a fun game.
Fun in vibe.
Yes.
Are the Bills really good?
Oh
The
yeah.
Niners, damn cursed, but are the Niners really bad?
Well, again, are the Bills that good? They're a really good team in the worst division in
Yes.
football.
Must
They
be fun.
now are like the Patriots were for 10, 15
Yeah,
years.
and they
The
deserve it.
AFC East stinks. There's one team, and that's it in the AFC East all
Yep.
the time. Miami would be good if Tua didn't do it. The Jets are going to be horrible, and the Patriots for a while, and they have been for the last 5 years. The Bills have won the division 5 years in a row. The Bills are a very good team. They take advantage of their home field, as we saw twice last week. Warm weather teams, they don't want to go in December and January play. Miami's the same way.
Yeah.
It is a mindset, and when you play in cold weather and you practice in cold weather, it doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
And you can talk all you want, but when you're practicing in Florida or you're practicing in San Francisco and it's 55, 60 degrees, and now you're playing and it's 15 degrees.
There's
and
nothing you
snow,
can do to simulate it. You
yeah,
try.
there's nothing you can do. Players, you can tell they don't care. I feel so sorry for the Niners. They've had so many injuries. They're one of the most talented teams. Their
I hate
window
them, but I
has
feel
changed.
bad. There's a lot.
Their window is going to be gone soon. I mean, you can't lose IU.
It's a good time for it to happen.
Bosa, I
Right
mean,
before Purdy's contract, it's good to know.
Purdy's going to get paid, and he should.
Paid by them though now.
Huh?
Now that they're falling, will he get paid by
Well,
them?
somebody's going to pay him.
Someone will.
I'll tell you one thing, he's a lot better
Oh,
than
yeah.
Oh, he's a good quarterback.
20 quarterbacks out there.
I wonder if they lock down to him knowing that they're done.
And to me, and before the game, and I was telling one of my buddies, shame on the Niners for even playing McCaffrey that game.
Yes.
They had no business playing him. He's got
In the snow. That's what people were saying.
Have a good back too.
I know, but you
Shame on them.
yes, I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
I
They
agree.
were out of the playoffs before that game anyway. They're not coming back.
I said that when he
And
went
when
down.
he got hurt, the first thing I texted my buddy. I said, "See,
Yeah.
what were they playing him for? I know it was his knee, but you know when you have bad Achilles and you're out there in the 10 degrees snowstorm,
But wait a minute, though.
get
But
traction.
if you have a bad Achilles, you have a bad knee, all these things, your hamstring's part of that. And so like those parts of your body get used
I don't
up.
understand why they played him.
Easy
They were
to
going to
move.
lose that game anyway.
Yeah.
Him playing or
Talkin
not,
and-
they were- but
Yes.
Literally.
Or stupidity.
It's a little bit of both.
you could have just cost him his offseason.
Yep.
You know, they weren't going anywhere. Him playing, they weren't going to beat him. The Bills are really good at home. This is their most talented team that they've had. If they don't get to the Super Bowl this year, they have a problem because they're going to be a 1 or 2 seed. If they get the 1 seed, again, I think they're way better in Kansas City. I don't think they're way better in Baltimore, and they don't scare me in Denver
No.
because I think you could play them to their man. I think Kansas City,
It's just
it's in
all
their heads. It's in their head, and that's all they have is Mahomes now. Their defense looks normal.
And they've got lucky at least 3 games.
5. They're all
5?
Yeah, but I keep seeing people list like the ways they got lucky, and one of them was like
Oh,
they made
yeah.
a field goal at the end of the game. It's like, yes, they did. They won on a game.
I know, but you got other teams blowing
the refs-
teams out.
the refs-
They're just getting by. That
I
tells
don't
you.
care.
The refs
That
gave
tells
them
you
that
something.
game again.
What do you mean? It
We did the
tells
same
you
thing
something.
last year. They were 7-4 and they lost to the Raiders. This time last year, I don't care.
But
I don't care what
Again,
happens.
they got the refs call.
But they're good.
Yeah,
That's why.
always.
But they're gonna-
I'm starting to really
The
notice.
refs started going like this, which means
False
full
ball
start.
start.
That means
That was
there's no
bad-
play.
bad call.
They all get together and they say it's cold out here. How can we end this game? And
But
get
all I'm
Kansas
saying-
City, let's call it this.
If you said
And
this for
then-
the Bills, though, I'd be like,
Come on,
yeah,
you can't
I'd
do it.
agree. I'd be like, yeah, the Bills haven't shown me. But every time I've looked at Mahomes and been like,
No, but they
He's
go.
great.
they get
It's
the
not that
call.
he's not.
but it's like the Patriots. When we would look at the Patriots and go, they don't look the same. And then we'd get, and then
Oh, I
we're
know what you're
sitting
saying.
here in
No,
February.
I know what you're saying. I agree. There's a magic about him. I agree.
Listen, they
Goodbye.
were horrible.
And that's-
They looked horrible, and they're what, 11-1?
But they've looked horrible for 5 weeks. I know, but they get the calls and they win the close game.
But they're going to continue to get those calls.
I think, to me personally, Baltimore and Buffalo are both better than them.
Better
But you
teams.
have to show them
Better
in the
teams.
playoffs.
That's-
So my big thing is when I watch like these sports shows, I love consistency, and there's a reason I don't like Joy Taylor. I think she seems very nice and she's funny, but she's not consistent at all. And she'll be like, well, and the Cowboys have done nothing to prove it right. But last year we had a great team. You could not look at us and go, we were a contender. And she'd say, you're not a contender because I haven't seen you do it. And I don't like that logic, but if you're going to use that logic, you got to keep going. Patrick Mahomes, every single year I see him. And last year was horrible. I was out of the Chiefs. I've counted the Chiefs out 2-3 times. I didn't think they were going to win the division last year. As soon as they lost Tyreek Hill, I thought they were done. They won both Super Bowls. I've been proven wrong so much that it's like you've looked really bad this year, and you're 11-1.
Yeah.
I love that. That is my favorite stat of the year. If you look bad,
It's
and you're
almost like a
winning,
movie, unfortunately, where the
Yeah.
NFL gods want them to win, and everything
I'm just
Ah.
in their favor.
I do know there's a reason why Taylor Swift doesn't play in the Super Bowl. They're gonna wait. They're waiting until
They suck.
Kansas City sucks.
I'm a big believer
They
of
are.
the greatest player always wins something. Like every year when LeBron was playing the Warriors were a way better team. I picked LeBron every year. I was wrong every year but one, but it's like I have the greatest player. I'll give you a chance.
But any game, Mahomes is going to be the best player on the
That's
field.
the thing. You put him out there, and so when the Bills beat the Chiefs every year in the regular season, because that's just what they do, I don't think Mahomes cares like at all.
Oh, you can tell he doesn't.
He doesn't.
You can tell he doesn't even care for the first 3 quarters of every game.
Everyone made that big game, and it was a big game, especially for the Bills. But everyone, like the announcers and the media, and they're, this is the biggest game of the year. It's huge, and I don't think Mahomes cares. Like I don't think they care about the
No, because that's because he knows what the real biggest game
He
is.
has
He
3
plays in
rings
them
on
every
his
year.
finger, and he's 28. Like he is the greatest. He is the greatest thing I've ever seen in sports. That's the thing.
I think this year, if Buffalo lost to Kansas City in the playoffs at home, that's a choke.
Yeah.
At this
Last year,
point,
I
it's a
wouldn't
choke.
say
You're right.
a choke. This year, it's a
It's
choke.
a choke.
They don't beat them this year with.
And it never gets out of your head if there's
Right.
Exactly.
I've watched my team, and since I was 12, have not been able to get past the Packer thing. They lose every year. We lost 14. We lost when we saw them again at 17.
Yeah.
We lost 19, 31-3.
Yep.
Keep going through it. 21, 23.
We've been better than them.
We've never lost.
Although I did go to Dallas and see them beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah, and wait for me. But sometimes you have that thing against the team, and you can be way better than the team. We were better than the Packers. We haven't beat the Broncos in my lifetime, and we've been better almost every year besides this year. I think when you have a thing, and this Allen-Mahomes rivalry, I think it gets to Allen way more than it gets to Mahomes, because he doesn't see it as a rivalry.
Can we admit, though, that Allen's the best quarterback right now in the NFL?
Right now, but Mahomes is the best.
I don't mean overall, but right now. That guy doesn't
He's the
matter.
best regular season quarterback.
Okay, but I'm saying at this point in the season.
But he's got to prove it in the playoffs.
But I'm done giving him praise for being good in the regular season when
Yeah,
my
that's
quarterback
what I
has
mean.
never gotten
But it's not like he hasn't been good in the playoffs. His
He
team
hasn't
lets him
won.
down, too. I
He
know, but,
hasn't
you can.
Consistency.
It's like Lamar Jackson. He wins
So you
the
pitch
MVP for the regular season.
Yeah.
He doesn't win MVP.
So you
in the
pitch a
playoffs.
no-hitter into the 8th, and the guy in the 9th gives up, and you lose, and then
Okay.
it's your fault that you didn't win that game?
Listen, if that no-hitter gets broken up in the 9th, in 5 years we don't know what happened in that game.
I know, but it's not that pitcher's fault.
Everybody remembers losing in the playoffs in football. Football, especially,
I know,
one
I
and
know.
done. Everybody remembers.
Let's not. Josh Allen has the greatest PR team in NFL history because we all forget somehow that Bengals game in Buffalo when it was freezing cold and snowing, and Josh Allen and his team got kicked off the field.
Yeah.
I like Josh Allen. He shows me a lot.
I love
But
it.
They've lost too many
I'm
home
done.
games. They're like Baltimore. They've lost too many home games in the playoffs, which, to me,
You have
when
to
you're
win.
at home in the playoffs,
Yeah, you work too hard to
win
get
those games. You work too hard to get
And
there.
I hate when the narrative going into the game is the Chiefs are so beatable. And then when you finally lose to the Chiefs, after the game it's like, oh, it's the Chiefs. No. Stay, give me one and carry it through to the end.
But they,
Sorry,
are,
Cole.
they are literally beatable this year. Their
Chiefs are.
Oh, 100%.
So
But
many.
you have to beat them.
You don't have to play a perfect game to beat
No.
them, but you have to play a good game to beat them. Before you had to play a perfect game.
And maybe have a good
It's little
kicker.
different.
Maybe I'm
But
Yeah.
if Allen is what everyone says he is, which I believe he is talent-wise. But we have our friends we sit next to at the Sabre games, and they love Josh Allen. They say he's the best thing ever. I need to see it now in the playoffs against Mahomes.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
predict.
he does need to win.
I'm done
I'm
with
gonna
it.
predict the future, and this
He's like that.
is made for the
He's better than
championship game.
Yeah.
Baltimore at Kansas City. Kansas City gets a touchdown. Minute left. Baltimore drives down. Justin Tucker misses a field
Yeah.
goal at the end. 21-yarder. Justin Tucker misses, and the game's over, and the Chiefs go to the
Think
Super
about
Bowl. I
last
can
year.
see that happening already.
Think about last year. Should the Ravens have not crushed the Chiefs? They should have.
Should've.
Lamar did what he always does, and he forgets that he's a running quarterback that needs to run.
Mhm.
And Josh Allen does the same thing, where he just forgets, and he's played actually good against the Chiefs. But the Bills, as a general, they need. That's why I don't like Sean McDermott, and that's why even if you like Sean McDermott, I would be like, you can't beat him. You
Chiefs
gotta
are almost expecting the other team to screw up somehow. That's their mentality. They're expecting something good to happen for them.
Yeah.
And when you play them, you're expecting something bad to happen.
Yeah.
It's just in their head.
And the Chiefs aren't phased by snow games either.
No,
That's the
No,
thing.
they're not.
Baltimore's not either.
Mahomes put him in the heat, put him in the cold, put him on Mars. Like he's good.
If you look at the AFC playoffs, you got Baltimore,
That's the
Buffalo, Kansas City, Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh.
Denver.
Yeah. No,
The Chargers are a dome
Only
team.
team-
They're the only team that's
Only team.
they're going to be scared. The Chargers are going to go somewhere and they're going to fold like a cheap
I don't
suit.
think the Chargers are a real team anyways.
No.
But no, I agree with you. Josh Allen, I
Love
always
it.
have to hear how
Love
good
it.
you are.
Love
You're
it.
better than Dak, and you are better than Dak. But now I got to start holding you to a higher standard than we hold freaking Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott loses the game or his defense gets a
Until
40.
he gets one of these, I don't
He
put
needs
him
it
in
right.
there.
He's on the was tier 1 Mahomes and then tier 2 for me. But I just don't get how
Next week, I want you guys to rank your quarterback.
I want to see what he does at Detroit,
But we always do because I know this has gone long. We always do Dak, which no one thinks Dak is on that level, and we always hold him to that level. But when Josh Allen doesn't play to that level in the playoffs, we always hold him to Dak's level, where it's but his team and the run game and Sean.
He
Payton.
has the team this year. There's no excuse.
He's the guy. If he is the best player in the league, he has to win. As I saw Brady do it with mediocre offenses. I know his defense are always good. Freaking Tom Brady was throwing to short 5'6" guys who couldn't run routes. I don't want to hear it. You got Amari Cooper. You got a great run game now.
Shakir's good. too.
Shakir's really
Got
good.
two good tight
Kincaid,
ends.
Knox, run game. This is the year.
This is the year they should win.
You have to do it now. Bills fans, I'm done. I'm done hearing it. You have to do it now. No circling the wagons.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't want to
Circle the wagons.
Hey, Frank, dude.
Circle the wagons
hear
when
that
there's a ring
one.
on the wagon. Okay? I have no room to speak, but I don't speak. All right. Let's go to Juan Soto. This is a fun one. There are a supposed 5 teams in the race for Juan Soto. It is the Jays, Dodgers, like always, Red Sox, Yankees, who seem to be
All the
not
teams with
in
no
it,
money.
and Mets. This is big. Where do you think he goes?
Well, I don't think he's coming here for Canadian money. I don't think the Jays are getting him. I don't think he wants loonies and toonies. I think he, to me personally, I think he's gonna go to Boston. I think he's gonna put him over the edge.
Oh,
If he goes to Boston or the Mets, he automatically puts them as division winners.
yes. Yeah.
He'll put the Mets above the Braves. The Mets have good hitting. When they're healthy, their pitching's good. You guys have all the hitting around them. You guys have decent pitching if you hold up. That puts you guys ahead of the Yankees, probably ahead of Baltimore too, I would think, because I don't think Baltimore showed us in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't get to $700 million. We can't start talking about $700 million contracts
I can't see it
in
getting
sports. I hope he doesn't get it. Like you said, he likes the culture in Boston. Again, is baseball worth watching? The Dodgers picked up Blake Snell.
I know.
They have.
I
so
couldn't
many-
believe
Soto goes to the Dodgers. I'm not turning on the
But they have
Yankees.
so many pitchers now, plus their offense.
Yeah.
Who's going to beat the Dodgers in the National League? It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
No, in the National League,
Yeah.
they have 8 guys that can start for teams when healthy.
Yeah.
All 8 could start on other teams and be like a 2 or a 3.
Oh, yeah. They
So-
got guys on their bench that can start for. Kike Hernandez sitting on the bench.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's getting to the point where
We lost him.
there's 6 really good teams and that's about it. But you know what? It would look good on the Yankees if he went to the Red Sox, and I kind of think that's where he's heading. If he goes to the Mets, it would look bad on the Yankees as well.
Yeah.
So the Yankees
They have no win.
They have no win in this. So to me, he's a great player. He'll put whoever over the edge. Is it worth $600 million? Well, you better win 1 or 2 championships
Yes. Yeah.
to prove it, right?
Yeah. The Jays makes no sense. So I'm not even gonna look at the
I
Jays.
can't even believe that.
The Jays still have to pay
I hope not.
Vlad.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Like, and obviously the country thing isn't a deal breaker for Juan Soto. He's not from America. So, but I know the reports for the Jays are willing to throw all the money out there. Why would say Vladimir Guerrero and then look at the rest of the roster and see if there's anyone worth talking about? Like Bo Bichette batting .230. No, probably not. George Springer, he's a great 190 hitter. I don't
I
know.
was just gonna say he's hurt all the time.
So I'm not even playing. I know that the Blue Jays are trying to sell him on what every Canadian team has ever tried to sell a player on is you can be the king of the country. It didn't work on Kawhi. It's not going to work on Juan Soto. I mean, I wish it worked on Kawhi. It feels like Red Sox, Mets, 2 teams. I don't even think the Dodgers are trying to get Juan Soto.
I don't think they
That's
don't
the
need
thing.
him.
They're trying to re-sign Teoscar Hernandez.
Yeah, they don't need him. I would sign
Which is,
Hernandez.
I really hope they don't need him. The Yankees, it feels like, are desperate, but not trying as hard as the Mets and the Red Sox. From every report I've looked at, they're not willing to spend the money.
And they didn't win this year with them, and I think that's their theory.
Yeah,
we
I
don't
think
have a
that's
great
money.
team
They
to
don't.
begin with,
They do not.
so we only got one really good pitcher. So by signing him and wasting this money, maybe we can get 2 guys for the
That's the
price of
thing.
1, right?
And which to me last year should have been the year where they loaded up
Yes.
because you sent a bunch of prospects to San Diego,
Yeah.
and now you're only having for 1 year and you didn't get it.
They should have went and got a pitcher at the deadline.
Absolutely.
I don't know why they did.
So the Yankees, and I also think there's this weird thing where players don't like playing in New York. I don't think Judge likes playing in New York. I think they
There's a
hate
lot less pressure in Boston than there
Absolutely.
is in New York.
Yeah, that's the thing.
1,000%.
playing in.
It's like
for the
being in
Yankees,
Dallas. Same thing.
But I even think the Yankees is like a higher tier than Dallas. I think being in those pinstripes is one of the craziest expectations for anyone. It's like playing Real Madrid, in soccer.
I read today where the Oakland A's offered him $5,000 a month plus free room and board. So it's up to him.
But that was-
the ball's in his
But
court.
then, he had to bill it with another family. He had to live with another family. It's like the Canucks
They
and
can rent a
the
room.
Ice Dogs do.
The A's are going.
We got a great family for you.
The Rays would get him, but they got to fix a roof. So they got no choice. Now they got to fix a roof or pay a player.
Room for Soto, I don't
Soto, what are they going to do?
know. Everybody gets umbrellas.
So hey, you can go flip it around in Oakland, do a Billy Bean thing.
He's going to make whoever just so much better. And the hitters, look what he did with Judge.
Yeah.
It makes everybody around him a better hitter. Half the Yankees
How
hit
old is
better
Juan
this
Soto?
year.
26.
26.
Oh, he's still.
This is so. If the Red Sox want to say sorry for everything they've done, a 26-year-old to me, he's the best hitter all around in baseball.
Yeah.
I've loved him since he was with Washington.
He's an average hitter.
Judge is the best power hitter, and this year was a great average hitter actually. But Soto's the guy that gets you 320 and 40 home runs. Like he is a life changer, and it just I'm a big vibe guy, and it's really screwed me up in times when it comes to predicting things. I love vibes. Juan Soto to the Red Sox just makes way too much sense. Big Papi has meetings with him all the time. He grew up a Red Sox fan in Dominican. There's a Dominican.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a Dominican freaking culture
That loves the
in
Red Sox.
Boston.
There
We
is.
went to Dominican, and they all.
What do we see on the walls?
Papi and Pedro.
Pedro was everywhere.
It makes way too much sense, and so I got to thank Big Papi personally because I know he watched the show.
Hey, Pops.
The report this week was that Big Papi called John Henry and said, "You guys need to cut it out. If you want to be a contender, you need to spend like who you are." And Papi snapped them out in this offseason because I don't know what happened, but all season we were not in this Juan Soto sweepstake. Like it was like, oh maybe, but it was Yankees, Dodgers, Mets all season, and then out of nowhere we have become the favorite in insiders' eyes. And all I keep thinking is I've gotten my hopes up to sit here and see him sign with the Yankees. That breaks my heart.
I don't think he's going back to the Yankees.
It scares me though. I don't know what the Yankees. It was like when
I don't think so.
Kawhi was choosing between Toronto, LA, and the Clippers, and the Clippers were so damn quiet, and it felt a little creepy. Like Magic was running his mouth, and CP24 was following Kawhi here, and I remember telling my buddies like, it's the Clippers. It feels like Clippers. My optimism is Red Sox. Every good report is Red Sox.
I got a buddy of mine on Facebook. He's a Mets fan. He said, no way in hell all the Red Sox are doing is driving the price up.
That's what scares me.
That's what teams are going
It
to do.
terrifies me that the Red Sox are driving. But it would be nice to finally steal someone from the Yankees. It would be nice to be the team. And they said if they get Juan Soto, this is not where it stops. They're going to trade for pitching. They want time pitching.
That's what I read, too.
They want Willie Adames.
Well, if you're going to spend this money, you have to
Go
win
in.
once. So go all
You have to win one.
You don't just go half.
And he's going to be like 12 years. You're going to be having him for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 12-year deal. So you go get him, and you go surround him so you get 2 or 3 in those 12 years.
Yeah.
I'm excited. The day he signs, I'll be
I
ordering.
like to start wearing hats of my teams one day that actually are decent.
I will order a Juan Soto jersey the moment he signs. I will already be on him. Like,
I hope he does it soon.
They said
Yeah.
before Monday.
I hope.
Yeah, good.
Today was the last day of eliminating
Yeah.
teams. That's freaking terrifying. All right, let's do our picks. I gotta check.
Tomorrow night?
Oh, yeah, what's the Thursday night game? Because
Good game.
we watched this on Saturday, so it's not tomorrow night.
Packers line.
Thursday game.
But this game, they played a few weeks ago, and the weather ruined the game. It was pouring rain in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Detroit blew them out. Green Bay, for some reason, didn't play well. These are two of the best teams in the league.
Love's first game back too.
In his first game back. This is going to be a track meet, indoors, good weather, two great offenses. I see a shootout. Detroit really, unfortunately, with their record, they're still forced to have to keep going because of the division.
That
they're in.
division's
It's unbelievable.
crazy.
If they lose,
The division's
they
crazy.
fall to maybe tied with Minnesota, only a game
And only a game ahead of you. I know.
So, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Detroit. I think they have to win. If they win this one, I think they can clinch home field advantage a lot earlier, maybe rust guys the last week. I think it's a shootout. Detroit maybe win by a touchdown.
I'm going with the Packers. I think they, well, I was looking at the spread, but I think they keep it closer or win.
I'm going Packers. Feels like a
I would like to
Jordan
see that.
Love game. Feels like one
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah, I think.
I think it's whoever has the ball last.
I hope so.
It seems like a game like that.
It feels like a game where Goff could really choke.
Yeah, whoever has the ball last, and they call the Bears and ask them what they should do at the end of the game and how we should try and score, maybe win.
Not Eberflus. What are you doing?
He's
Talk,
available.
man.
Now we got to do the real picks of the week. And just so you know, going into the last, you were 4-4. Reg, Evan was 5-3. I was 6-2. You picked the Baltimore Ravens and you won that. You're 5-4 now. Evan picked the Bears and won that at 6-3. And I picked the Lions and now I'm 7-2. So you're up first, Reg.
I love these kind of games. They just played each other 2 weeks ago. To home and home, sort of. Usually you get one way and the other. Arizona's lost 2 heartbreakers on the road at Seattle. They lost. They played a good game, only scored 6 points. They outplayed Minnesota last week, kicked 5 field goals, lost the game with the buzzer. This is Arizona's year. Or if they lose, they're 3 games behind Seattle for the division, and they win, they're tied. Arizona at home, I think, is a gift. They played great at home all year. It's only 2.5. I'm sure the spread will go up, but I love Arizona to even it up against Seattle.
Me? I'm gonna go Dolphins -6 not at the Jets at home. So and in Miami, the Jets are a absolute mess. It's a dumpster fire. It's so much fun to watch. Aaron Rodgers getting chippy in interviews. It's fantastic.
Check the weather. Tua's if it goes
Oh,
under 40
yeah,
in
yeah.
Miami.
He might get
Tua's not good.
I just does weather nothing. Aaron Rodgers playing on the other side. He's washed. I love it. So it's -6 to the Dolphins. I'm pretty confident with this one.
Well, I'm going to circle the wagons in LA. I'm going to go with the Bills. I think they're going to drop the Rams.
If they win this, they're the team to beat. Super Bowl team.
I'll knock the Rams. I won't knock the Rams out because that division's horrible.
How lucky are the Bills though? They play at the Rams and at Detroit. 2 indoor games in a row in December.
There you go.
How lucky are they?
There you go.
After playing in the
After playing in the snow
Yeah,
where they
I
did it
mean-
right. I mean, I know that's their territory, but they weren't slipping and falling like the other teams.
Hey, just get Tyler Bass ready for the Chiefs game. That's all.
Now, you're too young to remember this, but did the Bills game not remind you of St. Anne's School?
Yeah,
You know, when we used to play and run, they were running the same routes. They literally were. Collinsworth kept saying.
Falling over.
Oh, they're awesome.
It is. I'm surprised more of them don't pull hamstrings.
Oh.
It's just unbelievable how tight you're.
But they were choppy
Purdy.
and turning, and it was like, holy crap.
Brock Purdy looked like me in the backyard. He was shuffling. And the ball had slipped out of his hand, fumbled.
It started snowing hard right when the game started.
Yeah.
It's almost like Buffalo, you know.
Yeah.
And they turned it on.
Yeah.
And they turned it on. Well, those are our picks of the
All
week.
right. We will see you next week. Hopefully following a Cowboys win. Thank you for watching Trash Talking.
I'm Reg.
I'm E. See you later.
Enjoy the games.
See ya.